Hey there, my Power Book 3 fans. We are back with Raising Kanan Season 2, Episode 2, Mind Your Business. That's right, you got to mind your business up in this type of business. You can't be in people's stuff. You get yourself killed or somebody else. Anyway, it starts over Rock and Detective Howard in the park. And he tells her how his life flashed before his eyes when he got shot. And he didn't like what he saw. And he wants to right his wrongs. And then added that their kid, talking about Kanan, can't shoot for ish. And then he said he going to tell Kanan, man to man and father to son, that he's his father. He his daddy. And he tired of waiting on Rock. He said, and she said, the truth is, I don't know who Kanan's daddy is. And he confessed at that moment, said, I ran a DNA test on the low, baby. When Kanan was in the precinct for that fight he had and he was bleeding, he tells Rock that this life ain't for Kanan because he saw it in Kanan's eyes that night. And didn't I tell y'all in last week's episode that Symphony said the same thing to her? Everybody keep telling Rock this life ain't for him, but she ain't listening. He even said he don't think this. Kanan even said he don't think that life is for him. Wake up, Rock. What kind of mother are you anyway? Like I said before, wasn't it she trying to keep him in school and everything? She wanted him in school and she wanted him to be somebody, didn't want him in the business. Now he's not sure he really want to do it, and she almost like forcing him to do it. I don't dig this woman. Something ain't right. Something just ain't right. And then we got Detective Howard also said that Rock may have her a one-eyed snitch, talking about Scrappy, in her organization. Now, she don't really believe him. However, she does send Marvin to check and confirm the rumor. And then Detective ends it with, I'm only telling you to protect our son. Our son, he said, because that's what parents do. I said, no, he didn't. And Rock is pissed. So then we got Kanan. He shows up to see Famous, and Famous is in bed, and Jess is going off because he in there with some chick, and she's like, you need to get your friend up or something like that, and because my mother's coming home. And Kanan goes and twists Famous' nipple to wake him up, and Famous jumped up and stuff, and then he states that he's been gone for 3 months. Kanan's like, I've been gone for 3 months, and now you here getting high and smashing white chicks. I said, oh, snaps. So then that's now we learn what Famous' name is, because his mama coming. His real name is Sean. I don't know if I knew that before. I don't recall it. But his mom comes home and she says, Sean, blah, 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 blah. She's totally pissed. She calls him a thief and throws him out of her house. Next, we got Marvin. He's at the anger management class, barely paying attention. The therapist tries to get him involved, but all he does is get under her skin. Oh, get under the skin of that white guy. That white guy who jumped up named Gerald wanted to look like he wanted to fight him. And Marvin was like, yeah, I wish a mother would. He just gave him that look. So the therapist warns Marvin that she gonna let him slide today, but he's not off the hook. He got to start participating fully. We got Jukebox, our girl Laverne. She asks Rock, does she remember her mother, and what does she remember about her? And she says, Kenya was a good singer. This is what Rock is saying. Like you, Juke. She gave you her gift, And Juke said, and then she bounced. And then Rock sat down and told her basically that, being a mother is hard. You bring life into this world and then it's all on you. It's a lot of responsibility and stuff. And that everybody's not up for the job. And Rock admits she understands and even respects a little bit that Kenya bounced after realizing this. She wasn't cut out for the motherhood thing. So she told Juke, that Kenya missed out because Juke is an incredible young lady and she loves her. I said, oh, that was beautiful, wasn't it? Then they flash over to the precinct. Lord have mercy, white people. All these Karens running around. What's wrong with y'all? We got Nicole's parents are at the precinct, pissed that Laverne was freed. Matter of fact, it wasn't even, I think it was just the mother and her attorney or something, that Laverne was freed, saying she provided Nicole the drugs and showed her how to use it. And it just, she just making up stuff. It's all total lies. Jukebox ain't did none of that. And then the chief, or whatever he is, captain or whatever, stated that he reviewed the files and there's no evidence that suggests Laverne Thomas provided the drugs that killed your daughter. And she tries to play the I know the mayor card. You know, these Karens are a trip. Even the attorney said, look, she gonna ask the attorney what they say. He said, look, they just asked me, mayor just asked me as a favor to sit with you. I am not one to be giving advice or whatever it was he said. But that mayor card didn't work. I could tell you that much. So now she wants Detective Burke to be fired. I want her fired, because she let them go. And Nicole's mom walks out. She's pissed, and Burke thanks the captain for having her back. And he looked at her and straight out told her that he was looking out for his department, not for her, that she shouldn't have stuck her nose in this mess. See, that's her problem. She's sticking her nose in everything. And then he added, you know, where he's sitting, it looks like you effed us all up. I said, damn, no, he didn't. He said, now go. Like, get out. You know, he kicked out his office. Then we got Rock, Lou, and Marvin. You know, they meet with Worrell, who was one of Unique's boys, and toss him into working with them under Lou. And he asks Lou, he looks at Lou and says, is that all right with him? Because, you know, he tried to kill Lou, almost killed Lou. And he said, is that all right with you? And Lou looked at him and said, we ain't dating, nigga. I was like, oh, snaps. Okay. Then Lou gets to the studio and finds Kanan and Famous in there looking at those mixtapes. And Kanan tells him they're planning to give Lou his cut when they sell them. But Lou says, you know, Famous can have them. And they like, word? He's like, yeah. So he said, word is bond. I guess they said that back then. And then he pulls him aside and tells him, stop smoking weed and put something down on paper, and he'll put him back in the studio. I'm like, damn, come on, Famous. So he said, just like I told your sister. And that's when he said that word is bond again. Anyway, so Marvin now is talking to Scrappy at one of their spots. Now, you know, because Rock had him following up on that information that Detective Howard gave her about a snitch, you know. So Scrappy doesn't hold back on letting him know how he feels about being passed over for that spot in the 40s, you know, that they gave to Rorwell, you know, Unique's boy. He's pissed about it. He's telling them, I've been with y'all since I was 14 and I lost the eye for you. And they gave a spot to him, to Rorwell. He's like, y'all is wrong, he said. And Marvin told him, don't worry, we got you, Scrap. We got you. Then we see Rock visiting the bodega, and she learns that the rats are eating up her money, and she gets on the lady's case about getting traps and stuff in there or whatever. And when she walks out the bodega, she's looking at this girl over the counter, and the girl's looking at her, and she's staring her down. And what we learned later is that was Unique's baby's mama. That's who that was. So anyway, then we see Rock sitting with a realtor who's white, of course. Let me add that part in, because she basically is insulting Rock in little ways, you know, by insinuating things about the neighborhoods that Rock is looking for. She trying to put her in probably more of a ghetto neighborhood instead of the very pricey, as she called it, neighborhoods that Rock is interested in. And she telling Rock that she needs, Rock said, it doesn't matter, I'm gonna be paying by cash. She said, oh, you need good credit too and proof of income, you know. And Rock said, don't you worry, just find me something in that nice neighborhood. I got all of that. I said, oh, okay, well. Then we're at the studio with Crown and Lou, and then the new girl Zizza comes in, and somebody named Cartier Duns Farid. Cartier Duns Farid is my man, played by Omar Dorsey. Omar Dorsey, I ran into him last month outside in Harlem dancing. We were dancing outside with Notori Norton in front of Melba's restaurant, honey, on Frederick Douglass Boulevard. And he took a picture with me. I said, that's my man. He is such a nice person. But he came in playing this part in the TV show. And he comes in wanting to make a deal, trying to say that this girl Ziza is his niece or something, but she's not really. She told him she's not. But he's trying to make a deal that would benefit all of them, he says, which is to produce and release a single together with Ziza to see how it'll work out. Crown doesn't like it at all, but Lou shakes hands and agrees to and says deal. However, he did put down about their operation. He put them down about their operation, saying it was whack and that they could never take Ziza to the level that she needs to be at. I said, ain't this nothing? Then Famous and Kanan are outside on the street trying to sell those mixtapes to make Famous some money because he ain't got nowhere to live. And they get thrown up against the wall by some cops who dump all of the tapes out on the ground saying they need a vendor's license. And then they laughing at them and walking away saying that they going to let them slide since they ain't really doing much of selling anyway. And they told Famous good luck with his rap career. And they was laughing at his name, talking about Famous. Then we have Jukebox, who's interested in trying to find her mother. She really wants to know her mother and find her, and she reaches out to that doggone Detective Burke. I wish she didn't do it, but that's what she did. She reached out to her to help find her mother, and she tells Juke that when she gives her the information, she said, you owe me. I said, oh, man. And then I saw the address listed on the thing. It's actually 3 blocks from my house here in Harlem. And I did see them filming over there anyway, but it was interesting to see that they actually had an address there. Then we have Detective Howard is still pretending he doesn't know what happened the night he was shot, telling officers he wished he could help them. Rock informs Kanan that Detective Howard may step to him talking some craziness and to just ignore it. Kanan is concerned and Rock says she got him and that the cop doesn't know what he doesn't know what he does or doesn't remember, so he shouldn't be concerned. Unique's girl, his baby mama, she tells him, she comes home and her mom is calling, Unique all kinds of names and stuff. And Unique reminds her, when I had that money coming in, you wasn't saying all of that, but she tells Rock that she tells Unique that she saw Rock at the bodega and that she just stared at her and it scared her. And see, when she said that, I said, that's going to trigger something because Rock, I think Unique is smart. He going to say, why the hell was Rock at that bodega? So something gonna go down. I just have a feeling, a gut feeling. I haven't seen episode 3 yet, but I think that might happen either episode 3 or 4. Something gonna happen. It gotta, because Unique gotta get back on top. So Rock informs Kanan Rock and Lou and Marvin, they in a diner talking about Scrappy. And Lou said he ain't taking him out because Marvin ain't even sure if Scrappy is snitching. And he says, Scrappy has been loyal. And Rock is like, he could mess us all. He could do this and he could do that. And all she concerned is he could mess us up. She forgets how loyal people were to her or are to her. I can't stand her right now because Scrappy, like he said, he lost an eye for them. They owe him big time. Anyway, then they show Unique. He shows up to see Dean at the bingo hall. Yeah, I remember that. Dean be there with his grandma, his mother, somebody. And he lets him know that he's not a safe investment right now. That's what Dean lets Unique know. He's not a safe investment now or in the near future. So Dean dismisses Unique and and Unique get pissed and makes a scene leaving out the damn bingo hall. Then we have Jess. She tells Lou she's moving to LA after rocking his boat. Giving him some. She tells him he's leaving and that Crown got her the job. And he's like, Crown? Really, Crown? And she's like, don't blame him. I asked him for help, blah, blah, blah. So she's going to be working at a management company there. And he kicks her out of his studio. He's like, get the hell out my studio. Oh, well. Jukebox found her mom's, saw her leaving the house, and she compared her picture to the pic she had of her in her little shoebox. So Unique, I'm trying to figure out, how did she get to, well, she came to Harlem. They're right there in Queens, right? So I guess she took the train by herself. Anyway, then we have Unique. He went to his spot which had been ransacked. And then Royale showed up and he tells Unique, you know, that he's on some new shit right now and there's different opportunities and maybe it's time to go. And Unique stepped to him like, it ain't time to go. It is not time to go. He was pissed. So, he also told Royale, you know, not you, Rock, or anybody else, or the police or whatever, going to get me down or push me down or something, he said. And Royale just added that he said, I ain't going nowhere with you. I said, oh, I think he done messed himself up. I don't know. Then it got Jess. She's saying goodbye to her mother and her brother as she heads to LA, and Kanan shows up and Famous is mad and he walks away. And it ends with Marvin and Lou driving Scrappy to the new spot in the 40s. And Scrappy is so excited to be, be a part of it. He's like, dang, I knew y'all wouldn't let me down. All this stuff. And Lou couldn't even look at him no more. And even, I think Marvin felt a little bit too. But Rock put the gun to his head while he was turned. And Scrappy's like, no. And she shoots him dead. That is effed up. That is effed up. That man was loyal to her. And I hated that. And I really can't stand Rock right now for doing that to poor Scrappy. And that's how it ended. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I'll give it another 8 out of 10. It was a real good episode. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Like, comment, share, thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next video. It's your girl, Barbie J, saying peace.